Hey guys, the StrongBoys19 here, and I'm here to do another album review for another 2012 album. And for this review, I'm going to be doing the album review on Stone Sour's new album entitled House of Gold and Bones Part 1. Now, this is the first album for Stone Sour's double concept album, and it's going to be released tomorrow in the UK and in 2 days' time in the US. So yeah, I managed to listen to the full album stream on the album, and since I'm a Stone Sour fan, as always, I checked out the album, and wow, that's all I can say about the album. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It's definitely one of the best releases I've ever heard this year. It's just so great. It's just really good stuff. And this is the only album to not have Sean, who's the band's bassist, because he's no longer with the band, which is a kind of a shame. So he's one of, those bassists that are just, cool and awesome. But yeah, besides all of that, the whole album is just fantastic, and Stone Sour had really been, a great band to me. They've been one of those bands I got into a few years back, and Stone Sour is just one of my favourite bands, and if you haven't checked out Stone Sour's music, you need to check them out. So this is the follow-up to Audio Secrecy, which came out in 2010. So I'm excited for the second part of this double album, because this one is just so good, and it's just 43 minutes of just amazing music, amazing lyrics, amazing stuff. So it's just fantastic, and Roadrunner Records is still the label for the album. So this album for me is much better than Audio Secrecy, although I still really like the album, but I think this one is more better. And this album for me got me back into I think the days of Come Whatever May. Come Whatever May is an album that's just aggressive and just awesome, with some soft songs in it, but the rest of that album is just heavy, and that really reminded me on Come Whatever May when I listened to the album House of Gold and Bones Part 1. So if you are a Stone Sour fan, then you're just pretty much like me, excited and just really anticipating this band a lot. And Corey Taylor's vocals on this album is still really, really strong, and his singing is just really great. He still has the same vocal style that's just aggressive, like the roaring vocals from when he was in Slipknot in Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses, and All Hope Is Gone. And his aggressive growling voice is still going really perfect, and his proper singing too. His proper singing voice on this album is just flawless. It's just so beautiful, and he's just one of the best. He's one of the best, musicians and singers ever, in my honest opinion. So Corey Taylor is still going really perfectly and just goes really amazing, just like he did in in Slipknot, and he just done the same thing in Stone Sour. And Jim Root is still the guitarist in the band, and he's one of my favorite guitarists ever. And he just plays the guitars just really great, and he just creates these really unique type of riffs on this album that sounds, you know, really just aggressive, and it's just low tunes like C sharp or drop B or whatever. He's just a great guitarist, and also Josh, who's the other guitarist in the band, he's just like Jim Root, just a very good guitarist, and he just basically makes some of these riffs up in his mind, you know, just like Jim Root. He can just make any riff at the top of his head and just makes the music really perfectly. And you know, since Sean is no longer with the band, they had this guy called Rachel or whatever. I can't pronounce his name right, but he is the becoming the bass guitarist for making the album, and he did a good job in the album as well. I mean, his bass playing is just like Sean's, although Sean's bass playing on the first 3 Stone Sour albums are just really great, and Roy Mayorga's drumming is still going really brilliantly, and he's just one of the best drummers alive. And it's just like other metal drummers, you know, Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, and you know, he's also in Avenged Sevenfold, and the drummer for you know, Death, and you know, just loads of really good drummers in the metal world. So yeah, so Stone Sour's House of Gold and Bones Part 1 is just phenomenal. There's a lot of songs on here that are just, you know, like the old Stone Sour, just fast-paced, awesome and aggressive. And there are some parts on these songs that are just soft. And there are some soft songs on this album, and you just hear the sweet, beautiful sounds on the acoustic guitars, and Corey's really great, beautiful singing voice. And you know, even when I liked Stone Sour's aggressive songs, I love their soft songs as well. No matter how they did it, how they try and make the music perfectly, Stone Sour's music is still going really going flawlessly, and that's just what I like about Stone Sour's music. And when I listen to Stone Sour's soft music, it basically makes, for me, Stone Sour, you know, still going more, you know, more perfect, and, you know, and more serious. You know, it's just like Slipknot when they've made Vermilion Part 2 in the Volume 3 album. It shows that Slipknot is still going, you know, more serious, and that basically is, in my opinion, the same feeling with this album and some of the other soft songs on the other albums. And it's just a really good, amazing album. You should just definitely check it out, and it's just, in my opinion, one of the best albums of 2012 this year, in my honest opinion. So yeah, that's just pretty much all I've got to say about House of Gold and Bones Part 1 by Stone Sour. And the production is just really awesome, just really unique, and it's been mixed perfectly as well. So Stone Sour did a really good job, and I'm excited for House of Gold and Bones Part 2 in 2013. So yeah, and that basically sums it up for my review on the first part of Stone Sour's double concept album, you know, the House of Gold and Bones project. So the album rating for this album is going to be a 9 out of 10, and I suggest that you should definitely check this album out if you haven't yet. So thanks for watching, guys, and keep it metal.